This is the Okayest Hunter podcast. Never pass on shooter bucks, because that's just meat in the freezer. It's your tag, you hunt how you want. This is Okayest Hunter.
What is up, everybody? This is the Okayest Hunter podcast, coming at you from Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, from the Okayest Hunter podcast studio, brought to you by Spartan Forge. I want to just say, I never do this right. I have not done like formal. I've been listening to a bunch of other podcasts lately, and I've not done the formal stuff like, hey, if you're new to listening, thanks for tuning in.
But we used to do that one where to hunt.
Yeah.
Like we had our thing, we had our whole shtick.
Yep. And now I just, my shtick is to crap the bed.
You shit the bed, big time.
And then we got to clean the sheets every freaking week, and it's, whatever.
Yep.
If you're new to listening, welcome to the shit show.
Welcome to the shit show. And just a heads up, we record live. We broadcast live to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok.
And there's no
Tuesday.
editing. Zero.
We don't edit this stuff, so if we fumble and fall on our faces, we'll edit if we have a huge problem, which will happen about once every blue moon when I get new cameras or mixers or TVs or whatever the hell happens around here. Mm-hmm. And so, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, live endpoints, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And what else was I going to say? We have a weekly email that goes out every Wednesday after the show. So if you're subscribed, if you go subscribe, you'll save 40% off.
So you post a little propaganda.
Stickers.
That's good.
That you get from us. Your first sticker order. We have the Okayest Hunter crew.
Yeah.
If you join the crew.
People are joining all the time.
We have a lot of people signing up. You will get discounts on other brand stuff, and you'll get $50 or free shipping on any order over $50 from us.
Was it every month?
Every month there's a new brand. So last month it was Altera alpaca.
Yep, alpaca wool socks.
Altera wool socks. This month it's Vector Custom Shop Arrows, 20% off of their stuff.
Big deal.
I can't tell you the code. You have to go sign up. You actually have to you have to apply, and by applying, it's just tell us why you align with the brand, why you think whatever.
It's pretty rigorous to make it.
Yeah. But it is. Some people are like, I just want free stuff, and we're like, well, you're not invited then. Like that's not how this works. What else? We have an event coming up in August.
We do.
Foam Fest.
August 27th, Foam Fest. It's a drink first. I'm sorry, shoot first, drink after.
Wow, where is your mind?
Oh, I'm gonna mess that up. I'm gonna have like a live.
It's been a long
problem.
week, and it's only a Tuesday.
We're gonna get sued.
Shit.
We already have a bunch of people signed up for that. So
we just lost our venue.
We did. It's gone. No, in fact, they'll be probably pretty happy that we do have people.
It's at Hubbleton Brewery in Waterloo, Wisconsin.
Yep.
Which is in the middle of.
It's smack dab in between Peaceville, Reeseville, Waterloo, and Hubbleton. It's right in the triangle.
Which is kind of just a bit north of 94 when you're heading towards Madison. It's kind of in between.
As the crow flies, you're probably about 10, 12 minutes from the interstate.
Okay.
Not bad.
No, not terrible.
Did I miss anything?
No, I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
Any sponsors that you want to call out?
Yeah, so I mentioned that. Thank you, dude. That we're brought to you by Spartan Forge.
They're
the title sponsor of the show. They have a very smart app. They just had their pro staff get together in Pennsylvania, and they're always doing product development stuff. Those guys are in like a group chat on Slack, and they're constantly like giving Bill a run for his money on how he should develop this thing. He's working with a lot of colleges around the country, a lot of professors.
Your mom goes to college.
But that's what was awesome too. Is just the other day I saw that I know you saw it. I'm sure you did too.
Yeah.
But Bill was asking on Spartan Forge, like we're doing research with these universities. What do you want to know?
Yep, and you got a great one.
He opened it up to the public and like, what do you want to know from these collared deer studies? And like, who is asking? What?
Has Onyx ever said, "Hey, what do you want to?
Hey, what do you want to learn?"
Yep.
Like, holy shit! Here's what I want to learn.
Well, we're different. People are like, well, is Onyx better? Is Huntwise better? Look, they're a bit different from one another. Like, Huntwise has a social component. They have a lot of the mapping stuff. I think there's some nuances to their thing. They have some integrations with a friend of mine, Matt McCoy, who runs Field to Freezer, so I can find a processor. So some neat things. Onyx is obviously really focused on the mapping application, like dropping pins. And
they've been around probably almost the longest, I would
They're
say.
they're the big gorilla in the
Yep,
room.
They are. They're huge, and they have a lot of money behind them to get a lot of updates done really fast.
Yep. And so Bill, he was building his app for 8 years before it ever saw the light of
Right.
day. And where his is different, does a lot of the mapping stuff too. Arguably, some of it's a little bit better, like the satellite imagery, because his background in the military is
He's got the hook.
it's pretty great. But it's got the deer movement predictability stuff where you'll be able to discern when a deer, the average deer, not the monster 150 or whatever that we're after, probably the spike buck that we're
the monster
toting.
15.
There we go, the 11 pointer. When that deer will be on hoof and how it'll navigate various types of terrain. So, if you haven't heard of it, go check it out. If you've heard of it and you haven't pulled the trigger yet, feel free to use our code OHP. You'll get 25% off. So it's a good chunk of savings. Cheers to Drop Tine Spirits. They keep us from going dry in the studio. I'll do another cheers just for the
Yes,
sound
we
effects
will.
here.
Yes, we will.
Cheers to that, fellas.
That was
That
weak.
was weak. Let me
Try it
switch
again.
Oh,
Here we go.
shit. It's because we.
There you go.
Oh,
You
yeah.
had
Oh,
a
yeah.
strong
Oh,
hand.
yeah.
All right. So
That mixer almost dead.
Yeah, it
Latitude
did.
Outdoors is a friend of ours. Go Wild is a friend of ours. Backwoods Grind is a friend of ours. We got a lot of friends and pals in the space. We've been doing this for a little while now, so we've made some friends along the way, and we don't mind sharing those brands that we enjoy working with. We do have a guest. Should we bring him on?
Is
I don't
he
know.
still awake?
Yeah, sorry about all
Okay.
that. Oh, dude, you were on TikTok and now you're gone.
Yeah, the people kept bitching that the feedback was bad, so I was like, I'll just go live on my own.
Oh, damn it. Oh, well, whatever. Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how to get the audio in from our side, but whatevs. Let's bring up on the big screen here so the fellas can see you while we're kind of getting the plane off the runway here. So, by the way, folks, we're live with Josh Morrow. Josh Morrow is known as the Hunt Critic, if you haven't heard of him. And if you're not on TikTok, there's a good chance you might not have heard of him, because that's where you spend probably all of your time. I think
Yeah.
pretty rare for me to go on TikTok and not see you.
Yeah. It's pretty bad. I'm looking at expanding other apps.
How about this, Josh? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Fuck, man. I don't know. It's just
There we go.
I spend a lot of time on there. And that's kind of like one of the downfalls of doing it from the beginning, spending only time on TikTok, is that my presence elsewhere is not as profound, I guess you could say.
Well, that's where your people are. That's where people already like, who's this clown? Why would you have this guy on?
Yeah.
Please touch on the crossbow thing. Like we're gonna have a lot of fun tonight because I've been spending a lot of time with you on TikTok. As weird as that sounds, it's pretty neat what you've done. So let's just talk about that for a second. So I tripped into your account somewhere along the way. Who knows which one of your videos has millions of views? You're a young dude. I don't think, to my knowledge, you're drinking on this podcast. Let's just use that as a barometer of how young you are.
Yeah.
Not to make fun of you, man, because you look old as fuck.
Oh, no.
Wow. Nothing like slapping a guy in the face. You look old as fuck, bro. But yet here you are.
But that mustache,
Half
like
the
a
age you
Western.
are. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah.
So what I was saying is, like, you make these videos. You're called the Hunt Critic, and it may seem like you're one of those. There's these pages on Instagram. There's pages on TikTok that are called what I would call like a shit talking page. I
Yeah.
thought that's what you were. You're
That's
a
what
bit.
I meant.
You're a bit more evolved than that. Is how I would.
Now I am, yes. Originally, it was gloves were
No.
off, did not care, would go after anybody, say anything, and then now it's evolved to the point where I don't know, I've picked up a lot of traction along the way that I never thought I was going to pick up, and now it's more about education. We're looking down that route more than we are like fighting, even though fighting was fun.
No, education's way more productive than fighting.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Well, it's more.
Yeah.
It's better for the space. It's just a better
Yeah.
approach.
Yeah.
So you started by talking crap. Did you get your hand cut in the buzzsaw by doing that at all? Where you're like, ooh, maybe I should probably switch gears, or was it like, oh, I have this platform now, maybe I should use it for good, like Iron Man?
I don't know. I started with the intention of using my powers for evil, and I just would give my opinion on anything because that was how I'd get away with talking about whatever. Is I was like, get fucked. This is my opinion, And so I was like, you can't really get on to me if it's just what I think. And I don't know. I guess the headshot video, that's like, the crown jewel or whatever. But the headshot video.
Let's, because there's a lot of people aren't going to know what we're talking about.
So I did a video where I just kind of lost it about people that just put headshots on deer. I was like, that's fucked. Like, that's what I said. And I just got real mad and posted it like on a whim. Just posted it. Didn't even really think about it. Just was like, fuck it. Let's see what happens. And I hit the post button. And then this was when I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment. I was in my bathroom and I walked to my couch. I turned my phone off and then I turned it back on about a minute and a half later. And it was like at 11,000 something views. And I was like, turned my phone off. I was like, nope, like not going to look at that till the morning. And then because I thought my phone was broken. And I was like, it's not going to look at it. And then I woke up and it was at like 7. I hate when I, but it was like at like 750,000 views. And I was like, okay. And
you just broke the internet.
Then you gotta read all the comments and be like, what's actually going on here?
Yeah, no, it was a pain in the ass to read the comments though, because every time you go to hit your phone, it's 99 plus notifications, 99 plus notifications, 99 plus notifications. I can't tap my phone without that little bell hitting 99. Like, it was just pointless. It was bad.
That's an interesting thing that happened, man. That's this is one of the things about TikTok that you just never know when it's going to just erupt.
Now we know why the guys from Meat Eater don't answer their messages anymore, because
it's like that for everything,
same problem
everywhere for them. Probably, yeah.
You get so big and
you just can't manage it. That's why they have handlers. We're going to have to get you a handler.
Yeah.
So that video was you kind of going on a rant, but then you, at some point after the notifications stopped pouring in, you were able to kind of jump in there, and maybe that's where some of that, learning started to happen, or education.
Yeah. So I was just like, a lot of people will get in a position, like, I'm blessed to be in the position that I'm in. Like, don't ever get me wrong. I'll never say that I deserve anything, because I don't think I do, because I'm just a kid. But, I don't know. I saw that I had, because I'm just a guy, but I saw this platform that I had, and I was like, what am I doing with it? Just being mean, like creating controversy. Not that I don't love rocking the boat. It's like my favorite thing to do. But I was like, what good is it? Because I started noticing like because you can get in your analytics and see who follows you and whatnot. And I was like, it's either 40-year-old guys or 14-year-old like young men. And I was like, who's helping them kind of be a role model in this crazy outdoor world that we're in? So I was like, I'm doing it for them in a way. I was like, for the kids that aren't even interested in hunting, for the people that aren't interested in hunting, for the kids that know little to nothing, like, I'd much rather educate than just be a dick and them think it's funny. So that's kind of where that came from. I was like, what good am I doing? Like, am I leaving a good positive impact on this community? And when I really looked inside myself, I was like, nah, like, this isn't going to cut it. So we kind of changed directions on that.
That's an excellent thing, though, because I mean, most people, in my experience, the people who you'd want to educate or talk to people about those controversial topics that you're making a lot of your videos on, and I watched a few of them, man, and you touch on the stuff that's hard to talk about.
Yeah.
And most of the people who have the right opinions on those are quiet, humble people who don't educate and don't have their voice heard. So to take that kind of like, here's my opinion, eat it attitude, but do it in a way that you're like educating and having like a well-versed voice in those is huge. And that's something that like you don't see a lot of. Like Ted Nugent was kind of like that, right? Like he was loud, he was proud, he was vocal, he like did a lot for hunting. But here, like, you're kind of in a way, I'm not saying you're the Nuge, but it's kind of an interesting platform.
No, I don't do the cameras. Doug Glitterbean was just saying, oh, fancy cameras. And I'm like, no, I don't know what to do with them, because he said something about it. And I never put it on myself, by the way. This is like a problem that I have. I don't know. It's just awkward. I got to get someone to man the cameras for me. I got to get like some intern in here this summer. And be like, you just got to push these buttons over here, buddy, okay?
Well, maybe I just need to continue to be quiet, and I'll just poke buttons and make it look cool.
You know, I trust you with a lot of things. I'll just leave it right there.
Really? Okay. Have fun shooting your turkey this spring.
I've had a lot of people offer to help with the turkey situation.
I'm sure you
I
have.
don't know if that's pretty nice, everybody. Anyway, so headshots are bad. Why? Why don't you like them?
It's just a respect thing. I don't know. I mean, it's a lethal shot. If it's done correctly, but I think it's just the idea that I don't know. I've been hunting a really, really long time, and there's nothing more alert in the woods than a deer, especially a mature deer. They're paranoid about everything, and it's you can't blame them. They literally live their life thinking everything that's not a deer is going to kill them. So when I look at deer when I'm hunting, they're just always like this. Like there's some, an acorn could fall off a tree the wrong way and it'll catch their attention because it doesn't hit the ground just right. And so I'm like, why in the fuck would I shoot something in the head that is constantly has its head on a swivel, is paranoid as hell, on the off chance, even if it's standing perfectly stationary, on the off chance that something like that happens where something moves or something falls that you have no control of, and it turning its head like this, and then you butchering its shot, and then it's suffering, or you blowing its bottom jaw off. It's just not, I don't know. It just doesn't seem practical to me versus
Yet
center math.
you see people attempting it all the time, whether it's on purpose or by accident. Nobody really knows because they end up harvesting the deer, or it shows up on social media with a crossbow bolt or an arrow stuck through its head. And in a minute you comment on, hey, you shouldn't be showing this shit because it's not good for hunting, you get two ass clowns that say, well, it's not the hunter's fault, it's the poacher that tried to take them. It still gives us bad rapport.
Yep.
Yeah. No,
Don't show it.
I just wanted to hear you say it. I wanted to hear where you arrived with that and what the rub was, because this day and age, people are willing to argue about all sorts of weird stuff, and there's a number of topics, Josh, I think we could dive into. Damn it, I do the camera again. See what I'm talking about? So really though, with that following that you have, what types of things have you heard? What, with your finger on the pulse in the industry, what are you hearing happening in the space that's like, it's almost like you have a, what grinds my gears kind of page? Like what's grinding your gears?
Hunters going after other hunters. That just pisses me off. Just
that's the one that gets me.
Big dicking each other because I use a compound and you use a crossbow, and it's not that we're just cool with that. We're all out hunting and all that. Gatekeeping hunting really pisses me off. The small-mindedness of like, all right, here's another one. This is my biggest one actually. Lack of education for other hunters. And a lot of people get pissed when I say that, but it's true. Nothing, I say it all the time, nothing's more dangerous than an educated hunter that can explain and advocate for why it is that they hunt, not just that they do it. And I said this earlier in a video this week. I was like, no one will ever, the non-hunters, as far as they go, no one's ever going to advocate for our cause or understand our cause if you cannot explain something to them that is in a way that is simple and easy to understand. And, and if you can't explain it simply enough to someone why it is you're doing what you're doing and why it is that you love it so much, because, I feel like you should be passionate as well. There has to be a genuine passion there. But if you can't do that and explain that simply, you don't know it well enough to talk about it to somebody else. And I don't see a lot of that going on. I see a lot of people that are like, oh yeah, I hunt, but that's all they say. They don't want more people in this awesome fucking world that we live in. And it confuses me because there's so many opportunities, especially now with like how big the hunting public is, with how big Meat Eater is, with hell, even Joe Rogan being interested in hunting. Hunting has never been at a place where it could be more popular and we could have more people doing it. And yet here we are sitting gatekeeping, fighting ourselves, keeping people out of the community. Because when you act like a dickhead to somebody, no one's going to want to be a part of that.
Sure. Well, and a lot of it is just people being selfish.
Yeah.
This is the way it is because this is how I see it. This is how I've had all the success doing it. You should do it this way.
Well, it's interesting. People, one-on-one in person, hunters are very open and willing to help one another and teach and bring people in. If it's their niece or nephew or grandkid or son or daughter or, buddy's kid or whatever, yeah, I'll take you hunting. No, I'd love to take you. I'd love to show you. I think most of us are that way. The internet tends to shine the 1% on the negative, which is always what's magnified to be the loudest. And I just, there are a number of people that have that old guy at the job that's just, like you say, gatekeeping, guarding everything and trying to make sure he has job security. But in reality, what he's doing is he's not getting job security, because if you were open and sharing and willing to like provide knowledge, you do greater good for the business than just yourself. So I think people need to do greater good for hunting as a whole than just themselves. And Doug Dern, I think, did a great job talking about that subject matter when he talked about healthy deer management rather than just quality deer management. He said, if someone's pissed that you shot a spike buck, they're just mad that you didn't let it grow so they could have better genes or the culling, or like that it would grow and they could take it. So it's a selfish mentality. You talk about big dicking. I would say it's ego, by and large.
That's always what it is, right? Like even before the internet, that was a huge problem. I've been in public land parking lots where somebody drags out a deer with their kid and it's a nice buck, and somebody's kicking rocks in the back going, "That's my buck." Like, "Oh man, that asshole shot my buck." And there's a kid standing there, and you could celebrate the moment.
Yep.
Think of the bigger thing, but some people are just immature and they can't get over themselves and the greed.
Well, we had seen someone on TikTok, and I don't want to give TikTok a bad rep because it's mostly positive. I mean, like, there's so much engagement happening on that platform, more than Instagram, more than Facebook. It's not like you enter a group and it's just you get dogpiled with crap for saying some dumb question or something like that. But there was a person out of like hundreds of comments that bashed a 6-year-old for shooting across.
You got one lazy ass keyboard cowboy who thinks he's Rambo, that big dick in it.
But can a 6-year-old even pull back a compound? Like, and that will be lethal enough to take a deer. So what? And for the record, like when I was a kid, you couldn't hunt till you were 12. So they have 6 years on us, right? In this particular scenario, they have a crossbow, so they're out there experiencing and they're having fun. They can actually take an animal ethically, legally, and put a good shot on it so it doesn't, get maimed or something. And this guy is out there saying, "I can't believe a 6-year-old's using a crossbow, a 6-year-old girl." I'm like, this is the harm you're doing to the industry. Correct. Yeah. Just so yeah, I think there's got to be, and we were called, not we, but just generally, some people throwing around this term of like, y'all are the participation trophy award of hunting with this welcoming culture bull BS. And I'm like, you're the problem. This is it. Like hunting, we've said it's too white. When we had Brad Luttrell on, we've been like broaching this topic quite a bit. It's getting maybe a little exhausting for some people, but I don't know. People say it louder, say it for the folks in the back. Here we are. We're saying it louder. We're saying it for the folks in the back.
Yeah, you just happen to hit somebody who doesn't like to share this whole tradition that we have. That's all it is.
Yeah, but the I've never heard it called gatekeeping. I think that's a good term. Like, let's let more people in, so this thing can stand up in the polls when we go to vote. Because right now there's not enough diversity in the polls for hunting, so we're just pretty significantly outnumbered. That if someone puts something in a ballot box, like, we could lose. Not good. Like, we would friggin' lose.
I think Josh's mindset was spot on when you said you started this kind of shit talk and like voice your opinion. But then the key is stopping and thinking. And that's what you said you did. You just thought about it, right?
You did the right thing.
I can't tell you how many, and my wife just gave me credit the other night. Can't tell you how many comments I've typed on social and then gone, is this going to help or make a difference? And then I delete. Because that people stop.
You're just stoking the fire.
Is this helping anyone?
Yeah.
No, then don't post it.
Yep.
It's stupid.
But what you did, whether you want to see it this way or not, is you kind of had some marketing genius with stirring the pot and talking some shit and getting it going. And then you kind of reeled it down into earth here and just said, yeah, this is what we need to do. This is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And that's great.
And I appreciate that. And I will still, I hold no reservations. If you do something just really off the reservation, I'll still, I'll make a video about you. But I make it a point to be like, especially now, it used to be about the person and only the person and what who that person was and what they were doing. And now I'm at a point where the gears have shifted, like I said, and I'm not mad at the people for what they do if they do something stupid. And I've seen a lot of stupid shit. Yeah, you'd be amazed.
Dumb shit. We're human. That's what we do.
I mean, there's hundreds of videos that I could make that I can't, because if I were to make a video like that, it would get banned. But they can because it's a smaller account. But I'm at the point now where I'm mad at what the action is, and I want to correct the action that they did so they never do it again. And so that people are wary of that, because the biggest issue with TikTok, like Eric says, it's just the amount of engagement you can get on there is just fucking wild. It's just statistically, at some point, even if you don't become a content creator, you will go viral for something. Some video will pick up, people will watch it. And what I hate seeing more than anything else, what kind of made me want to change gears, what inspired me to, and what keeps me going, I would say, is I will see a video of someone doing something completely, like for example, I had a video where a guy picked up a yearling, went out and found it, got a hold of it, picked it up and went boom and body slammed it on a road in the middle of the night and posted it laughing.
That's garbage.
Yeah. But here's the problem. People that aren't exposed to hunting, people that haven't been exposed for that long, or people that
or they had poor
exposure,
interested
in it.
Wrong exposure in life.
Yeah, and they'll get exposed to something like that, or like even better, people will see like the video recently. I can't do a video on it, but recently there was that buck that had the bolt stuck in its head.
Yeah,
people see that video and they'll look at the amount of likes, and because people don't do their research. Let's just be honest. People are only going to look at something at a surface level and nothing more. And so they'll see something like that. They'll look at the amount of likes, they'll look at the amount of views, and they'll be like, okay, that's acceptable. I can do that. This is something that if so many people watch this and it was so popular, then that means it's okay for me to do. And that shit drives me up a wall. That's why I'm like, absolutely not. Like, because there's really nobody, like for a really long time, and it's not like I'm trying to toot my own horn, but for a really long time, I watched that just kind of play out and play out and play out, and no one was putting their foot down saying, hey, this is fucked. Like, you need to stop doing that. Let me, but not only you need to stop, let me explain why you shouldn't be doing it. Let me explain why this is wrong. And so, yeah, I mean, that's just kind of at the point where I'm at, I guess.
And you're right. It's the surface level, and people are ignorant to it just because they weren't brought up right. But like people see that video of that guy, like you said, body slamming that newborn, right? That yearling. And like they think that's a hunter because it has to do with deer. But I can tell you right now, that person is not a hunter.
No. Because
Josh, I've never met you personally before, but I can tell just the way you talk about deer that you love that animal more than you could explain to any non-hunter. And that's what a good hunter is. We care about those animals more than anybody else.
Yep.
We would do anything for those. I save deer who are caught in fences.
Yep.
Or stuck with their leg in a tree. You care so much. You don't want them to be hurt, but yeah, we hunt them, and that's the part that it's hard to explain to somebody who doesn't see it. And when they
I appreciate that. My argument for people like that, especially like non-hunters in general, is nature is the most unforgiving thing in the world. Deer don't die of old age ever, and if they do, it's very, 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 very rare for them to just die of old age. You're going to have disease. You're going to have predation. You're going to have one of them gets hit by a car. You're going to have they get injured and they suffer for a long time. You're going to have the weather. You're going to have starvation. You're going to have all these things that are brutal, miserable, slow, painful, agonizing deaths. And then coyotes will pick them off. They'll get picked to nothing. And they'll just be a pile of bones that are forgotten. No one will ever think about that deer because they won't know. Versus a hunter, I spent time watching that deer. I learned his patterns. I've figured out everything I could about him. And then I got to the point where not only did I figure out everything about him, I outsmarted him at his own game, at his own terms. And now that I've outsmarted him and I've won, I win. Like no one's ever touched it before. No one's ever been near it. Now I'm the first person putting hands on that animal. I've harvested him now. Now I can eat. And not only can I eat, I'm going to give it to other people, And on top of everything else, and people get pissed at the word trophy hunter, and, bear with me, but I'm going to honor that animal the rest of his life if he has antlers on his head, because he's going to be hanging in my room, or he's going to be hanging somewhere, or those antlers will never not be near where I'm at. And I will remember that deer forever, and he'll be honored forever. And he died quick and ethically. And now he's going to be remembered versus just forgotten because of nature. So that's my argument. I always try to explain to people.
It's the honor and the appreciation you had for the life of that animal, not the death.
Absolutely.
That's what it's all about.
His name was Robert Polson.
What the hell?
I said we can have shenanigans, okay? Okay. Fight Club. Cheers to that. That's it. Like, how many people come to the studio? Like, Isaac was here last week. Like, oh, is that the deer you got? And we're talking about it. And then we talk about the one that we didn't get. We're talking about all these animals all the time, and so much so that my wife is like, do you have like a one-track mind? Is this all you think about?
What else? What else are you going to talk about tonight?
Nothing.
Well, probably deer and more deer.
Yep. Or soon to be turkeys, apparently.
What are you doing on your phone?
But Josh, like,
looking at pictures
I don't know if you're like.
Is that Pornhub? No, it's Hornhub.
That's a real thing, as we learned from the show. So watch out.
Oh man, is there? So I don't know the way you put stuff together, and the amount of time you're dedicating towards this TikTok brand, the Hunt Critic, or wherever it's going to be living as time evolves, because at some point TikTok will become whatever the hell Facebook has become. You put in, correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm curious to learn more about this. Are you doing like scholarly research on these topics? Because it is eloquent enough. Like you see a post, and I know you're not just responding emotionally. I almost wonder if you have an Excel document documenting the categories. I wonder if you're doing scholarly research and writing shit up. And like
some people are just that
bases.
smart and they can think on their feet.
I mean, but that's just it. So like there's a lot of respect that I have for you and how you're doing this, because you are taking it seriously. You're not just shit talking anymore. And the passion's still there. So it's not like dry. It's not like you're some, no offense to any college professors listening, but you do put it out in a way that I think even Derek, like, you started watching his stuff when I shared the link. These are gonna be our guests, whatever. Same with Greg.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think there's any. You guys didn't like come to me like, this is who we're fucking talking to today. Excuse my language, Dad. I'm sorry for the swears. Okay, someone, Doug said your dad's gonna be pissed that you're swearing so much. I'm sorry. Anyway, go on. I'll stop talking.
I appreciate that. It depends. At first, it was very like situational topics. So it was like something where I could be like, well, let me just give my 2 cents because I've done this for a second. And people just thank God, happen to agree. But what I do now is scholarly. I wouldn't say that. I just scour the internet like hardcore, like, and not
you're not on EBSCO-host.
I'm not like sitting there on Wikipedia, the first thing that pops up, but I'm going all the way down like 50 pages back looking for like these small articles by these, professionals. But my biggest thing I try to do is, if I'm talking about, like, this is kind of why I veer off of waterfowl, but I'm about to do a series on hunting sheep in North America, because they're technically the hardest animal to get a hold of. And so I've got a guy that I'm talking to right now, a guide that only hunts sheep for a major part of the year. So what I try to do is I try to find an expert or a professional in that field. And luckily, with my presence, it's easier to put feelers out and get someone that knows what they're talking about. Someone that actually knows what they're talking about, not someone talking out of their ass, but someone that's really, involved and passionate about hunting rams as I am hunting whitetails. And I'll talk to that person. I'll ask them a stupid amount of questions. I mean, no stone gets left unturned. I want to know anything and everything that I can. I want to absorb it all, just so I can have that much more ammunition to educate with, I guess. And then if I I'll do that. I'll also, on my own, I'll go find whatever. I mean, literally anything and everything I can just kind of soak up that I think is relevant to what I'm about to be talking about, so that I don't sound like a jackass just talking out of my ass. I mean, I want to have some sort of inclination of what it is I'm saying. I don't want to just be misleading people. But that's really what I do. I try to get the experts and the people that are in that field, and then I try to do my own research, and then when the time comes, I'll walk into my bathroom, give it about 15, 20 minutes, and there's a new video out.
Just like this, huh?
Yeah.
Now, I haven't checked, like, I don't have TikTok on my phone, but I watched some of your videos, and I saw you got a couple on, the African big game. And I saw the draft video.
The elephant video.
Like, in my mind, I didn't see what the comments and the likes were, but in my mind, those are like such heavy, hot topics.
They are. Those are big.
Anytime somebody does a celebrity
I don't touch
hunt
that
over
shit.
there,
And I know a lot of people that like,
nuts.
why would you hunt an elephant? And I'm like, I get why you're asking that, because how much of that is one white boy going to eat? You're not. you're not going
response
to.
was good. His
But yeah,
response was
your
good.
response was great, by the way. But that's what I try to explain. Like I'm going to bring my wife into this.
Uh-oh.
She's not a big agreeer of hunting elephants because she sees these as a big, majestic,
Dumbo,
and endangered
Dumbo?
animal.
Yeah.
But you understand, I try to explain, you understand that this is a managed area, that they get to the point in their life where they need to be harvested because maybe they're doing more damage than good to the landscape around and taking food out of the mouths of the younger animals in the herd.
Yeah.
The whole conservation model.
Yeah.
And
That's why-
kind of gets it. He's still not sold on the idea
watch
of
too much Disney movies,
Yeah.
Disney.
I don't think it's that. It's just the fact that it's a big, beautiful, majestic creature that we don't have here in our landscape, at least as a native. So I get it. And because it is considered an endangered animal, nobody should hunt it.
Yeah. And that's the biggest issue is that you don't get it from hunters. You don't get it from non-hunters. It comes from like PETA. It comes from Animal Planet. It comes from this public knowledge. And that's what I hate is it's just like this kind of like unconscious knowledge that we have of elephants where we think, oh yeah, well, they're endangered. So we just shouldn't hunt them because there's not a lot of them. And if you really look into it, you have to hunt them. And not even just because like an old bull, a really, really old bull will be sterile and then he won't let younger males breed. And so like you're preventing more elephants from coming. But
that was a weird play on words.
Good pun.
Choose your words wisely around here.
That wasn't scholarly research. That statement.
No, that was college education. But
all right.
You're preventing more elephants from being born.
There you go.
Didn't mean to say it like that, but cats.
We
know. But not even that. Elephants are destructive. Like they destroy crops. Like they're notorious for it. And I didn't really mention that, but that's one of the many, many issues you have. But of the positives, you know how much money goes into elephant conservation every time you decide to hunt one?
A lot of money. The money from that tag really pays for a lot.
And people associate poaching, and this is the issue with elephants in general. People associate poaching with hunting, and that's the same thing. It's not at all. I had someone argue with me years ago. They were like, oh, well, they got hunted to almost extinction. I went, no, they got poached to almost, they almost got poached into that. That wasn't an ethical person. Those are just people that want ivory. There's a very fine line. This is the issue with the rest of the public, the non-hunters. There's a fine line between an actual hunter and a poacher. And that's a blurred line for everybody else. They just paint us all together in the same category because we're not really represented. So, yeah.
Man, it's interesting that you say that it's just like this kind of general, like prescribed knowledge that just happens. You guys probably remember because we're all about the same age, and Josh may not, but I remember seeing like the infomercials for like Adopt a Dog, like the Humane Society.
Yep.
There used to be infomercials about poachers in Africa, and you'd see dead elephants laying all over and ivory tusks loaded on pallets. And
it's all propaganda.
I remember being a child and seeing that and being like, oh my God, this is absolutely terrible. And then you're right, Josh, like that just gets kind of ingrained in like what's normal. Oh, there's no elephants, but like we grow up in a place where there isn't any. So it's just,
it's very foreign.
Seen,
unless you're like part of like Safari Club International where you're bidding on these hunts for a good price or what have you. But there's some what I would call institutionalized things or knowledge around some of these topics where it's been, you've thought about something for a certain way for so long that it's now, that is it. So it's really hard to go against that current. So you got an uphill battle with that topic for sure. In the whitetail community, that hill's not nearly as steep. I think there just needs to be less infighting. The neck needs to stop trying to bite the head off. We need to be more.
It'll never happen.
Accepting of others, and we can chip away at it. As long as it's almost always mostly good in all things in life. And again, it's that 1% that gets super loud, and that's what gets magnified. You watch the news; they're reporting on 1% of the bad stuff because, no one ever called the call center for their cell phone company to say, "Hey, you're doing a great job today, Verizon." Like that doesn't happen. Their call centers are flooded with complaints and problems, and my bill is BS, and this didn't work. And like people are focused on negative. It's a toxic thing. That's what stands out the loudest. Like, I don't know about you guys, but last time I loaded a dishwasher, I didn't do it right.
Yeah,
And-
par for the course.
And I did probably, maybe 10 things right that day.
But you
Did
know
that
what?
get
You,
talked
you
about?
can you can hit the
I'm not
easy
slamming
button
my
and
wife,
say,
but I'm
hey,
just saying.
you can say, hey, you can do it yourself next time. No, don't do that.
That doesn't work.
That does not work.
Us
It's not
married
enough.
men
You
here.
need- you need to
but that's
work
what I mean.
together.
Negative is louder. So,
You
and
need
that's
to
what
work
you
together.
Hear.
Look,
Yep.
just like us as
Yep.
hunters.
Yep.
Need to work together.
It's a team effort.
It's
It's a
team
two-way
effort.
street. It is.
But nobody wants to play nice.
No. And once you take ego out of it, like I've talked about this book probably on too many podcasts. I'm sorry. Ego's the enemy. I read
That'll
it
be
6
our
fucking
next
times.
sponsor
Yeah, Ryan Holiday. He's my jam, man. That guy is
when you're getting him on.
he's a smart cookie. Well, I'll put it on my other podcast if I can.
Mm-hmm.
But that whole once you start doing things not for yourself, that's when things start to change. You start doing things for the bigger picture, and it starts to change. There's a lot of things that we challenge ourselves with here at OK Center. Like, how can the event we're putting on August 27th? We're actively thinking about how can we make this about our crew members? How can we make this about our listeners, the people that follow us? How can we make this more about conservation? That's the approach we're taking. And once you put it there, then different things start to cascade from that. If it were about like, how can we sell more hats? That's stupid. Like,
Yeah.
that's not going to work.
That's not what it's about.
And we don't have to worry about trying to drink more beer. That'll be fine. But again, like for you, how can I make this about educating other people, Josh? That's a better approach. There's something cascading from that. And I'm saying the word approach too much because I don't have any words left in my brain tonight, apparently.
It's all right, man.
Approach, attempt.
It's like when I write a paper, like it says, you use this word already. Do you want to use a different one? I'm like, yes, I do.
Thesaurus time.
Superpower. I don't have a thesaurus.
Thesaurus.
Yeah. And I didn't put the freaking camera on.
Atta girl.
Just a
Yeah,
struggle.
man. No, I get what you mean. I mean, I think that's a part of the reason why I've always tried to not shy away from anything. Like, it's like, you want to talk about it? We'll talk about it at some point. I'll get around to everything. It takes a while to get around sometimes, but I feel like if you avoid certain topics, to an extent, what good are you doing? If you're avoiding certain topics and you're not wanting to, get the conversation on the table.
You're missing out on an opportunity to get educated, really.
Yeah.
Well,
Even yourself. And that's another problem in our community is the closed-mindedness. That's probably if it wasn't for, everything else I said, closed-mindedness would be another huge one, especially as hunters. And I learned that as I started doing this stuff. I had no idea what the hell I was doing when I started any of this. I still don't. People think I do. That's the illusion I create, though. But
someone just commented on TikTok. People think their way is the only way. Like,
yeah, exactly. And
it's like,
so much
Fords are the best trucks because that's the only truck I ever drove. But it's like, well, if you've never even driven a Chevy, how do you know that that's the best truck?
yeah.
Like, maybe a Toyota is the best truck. Like, try other stuff. Open your mind. I think as a teacher, this. Fixed mindset versus growth mindset. I love that.
Daily occurrence.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. No, and you see it with hunters more than anything else, and they'll be the first ones to go after you because when you make a video about why you think it's fucked that you shoot a deer in the head, well, everyone and their mother that shot a deer in the head doesn't, they don't take very kindly to that. And I get that. And it's because hunting's a tradition for a lot of people. And for a lot of people, that tradition is very sacred, very different than the rest of almost religious.
It's not a sacred way of allowing an animal to pass,
No, and it's not. But the person that taught them that, it might be a sacred, it might be sacred to them that, someone special in their life or important taught them. And, they hold that near and dear to their fucking heart, man. And so when you're like, hey, you're wrong. Let's look at this.
The crocodile scene or alligator scene in Waterboy. Well, Mama's wrong. Sorry to say.
No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong.
Yeah, alligators are because they got all them teeth and no toothbrush.
I haven't watched enough of yours since obviously the TikTok I'm very new to.
I'm not on the TikTok.
But I like what you do. I'm not on the TikTok.
Yeah, not on the
El
talk.
TikTok, which is Spanish for the TikTok.
El TikToko.
Maybe you have some videos like this, but do you ever have any a video where you have some wholesome moment between a turkey hunting kid and his dad, and you just say, "Let's talk about this." Fuck yeah! They
No, I
did it.
haven't.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you should talk about the right stuff.
We just never get tagged in the right stuff. That's the problem.
That's what I'm talking about. This is the call center. This is the call center example.
Right stuff out there? Are people putting that out there?
I don't know.
No, well, they are.
There's always the wrong stuff.
This is the
and
news.
You and I comment on it all the
Always the
time.
stupid shit.
Why are you posting this? This make us
Please
look
take
bad.
this off
Please
the
take
internet.
this off.
Josh, don't become the news. You got to report on more than the 1%.
Yeah.
You know, that's
I
a
wanna-
good point. It's just that there's the feelers, the way that they're designed. It used to be, hell, this shit used to be primitive. I used to go on TikTok and just look and search and pray that there would be a video. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, if you see something that you want me to talk about,
Sorts of stuff.
Right.
We both got tagged in one of the same videos. I don't know, this last week.
yeah,
I take- I'm looking at work on getting Waddell back on the podcast. For the record, I don't
That'd be
know when it'll
good.
happen, but it'll probably happen. Maybe later this summer or coming into hunting season, just because we're so booked up. But to that point, he had said, "It ain't bad at you. You aren't a." I'm not gonna I'm paraphrasing him here, okay? And I'll go find the
Are you
quote because
trying
I
to do
have
his
it.
accent a little bit?
But he said,
Let me hear
no,
it.
I'm trying to quote him. Yeah, it's not going to be great. I can't do accents. I'll call him. He'll sound like an Irishman or something. But
What the heck?
yeah, he'll be like, I want to do an accent.
Sorry, yeah, I know. You were starting.
You were
I saw it
thinking,
in your
don't do
eye,
it.
the whole
Yeah,
twinkle.
it's a twinkle in your eye.
Just do it.
It
Eric
ain't
Clark
badass.
accent.
You're not a badass because you get to hunt. It's badass that you get to hunt. And he talked about ego and hunting. So just, you're not a badass. Like somewhere a 12-year-old is going to shoot a deer. Like you're putting face paint on your face and acting like a badass and you're 42. It's not that big of a deal. It's a deer. It's a turkey. It's a bird brain. It's a whatever. It's badass that you can go hunt.
yeah.
And I've gotten crapped on for saying it's a privilege. You're like, well, it's a privilege. It's a right. And sure, yes, it is, but that doesn't matter. I'm not most of us are law-abiding citizens. So if they take hunting away, what's going to happen? What's going to happen?
If we keep tearing each other apart, like
Yeah.
Josh is talking about, there's very well a chance that right
It's not going to be a
privilege
right.
is going to
Yeah,
be taken away.
it's right privilege. However you see it, it's not going to be around very long if you keep acting like a jackass.
And my kids, dude, they're already my daughter's doing owl. I got this owl call here, by the way. I don't know if you guys can see. I don't know what camera I'm on here, but my kids have been doing this owl call
Make sure you blow
all
it
day.
into the camera.
I can't
over
do
there.
it. It's going to be too weird in the mic.
You need to do it. You need to blow it into
All
that
right, I'll
camera
just-
right
I'll just
over
do it
there.
a little bit. Here's my owl call. And don't judge me because I had it for a day. Okay, my kids.
Hey,
had it most
this
of
is
the time.
hunters
Are you-
sticking
are-
together.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. It's okay. I can get
Turn
better. at
red
it.
in the face.
Well, it's a lot of. You got to put a lot of air through this, otherwise it sounds like a maimed duck. You got to put
Maybe,
enough
is that
air
a duck
through.
call?
That is a duck
Ah,
call.
shit, that's a duck call.
gotta
They
really-
scratched it out and wrote
you gotta-
owl
you gotta-
over it.
It's like when you really get that. See, do you hear that?
Yeah.
If you don't do it enough, it's not enough. Greg can do it with his mouth.
Hunt
So
critic.
I don't want to hear you, but this is supposed to be
Critique
very loud.
Anyway,
The point of this is it's supposed to be loud, so shot gobble is what
Yeah,
I think you
shot
call
gobble,
it, right?
yeah.
I'm learning. I've never turkey hunted in my life. It's gonna be a fun season for you guys.
See, I think next year we do a lottery youth turkey hunt for somebody.
that would be fun.
OKS hunter, they might not get one, but we're gonna do an OKS hunt.
We'll pay for your tag or
And
something.
maybe
like that.
next year we also look at doing a team turkey camp.
All right. Dude, there's a lot of things I like putting Greg in charge of. The Foam Fest is one of them.
If it's a flop, I really apologize firsthand.
Can't stop the flop, Greg.
No.
2
2 weeks away, buddy.
The phone lines are open. If you're on TikTok, the phone number is 262-757-4122. I can't share it on the screen. I
And
don't have
don't
the comments.
crank us because we will report your number to the Pedophile Association of Jackasses, okay?
Yeah,
And
it's a
you're
thing.
gonna get bashed.
Yeah, and you
I'm
can't
just gonna
start
tell
6-7 us. It won't come through.
Don't start any shit you can't fucking take care
Whoa,
of.
Greg's dropping bombs. And if
Just
you're
passionate about
on
it,
all of our
that's
other
all.
channels, the number's on the screen. If you got questions, comments, you want to chime in, you want to be on the podcast, now's your chance. You can call in.
You could be
The line-
famous.
Yeah, there you
Your
go.
5 minutes of fame or 5 seconds, whatever.
By fame, it's like a pebble in a pond. Really, I gotta mute Greg's mic. He's making noise here. I think he's gonna go do something upstairs with the toilet, which is okay. Good for him. He can do that because he's gonna push all these buttons. Josh, what's on the horizon for you, dude? Are you gonna do a podcast? Are you gonna do a YouTube channel? Are you gonna do merch? I know you're like getting a bunch of merch from everybody else. I see that happening. What are you doing with stuff, man?
Great question. So what's really fucking cool is that on St. Patrick's Day, we hit 60,000. The seventh, I wanted in a month, I wanted to get 10,000. That was my goal. I wanted from the 17th to the 17th. And sure as shit, the day before the 17th on Easter, hit 70,000. Wasn't close to 70,000. Was it like 69 too? And it just went boom. And we did it, which was cool.
When you say when I say we, I always refer to my wife or these guys.
Me and my multiple personalities. You know,
there we go. Myself and I. All right.
I don't know. I have a really bad habit of saying that, but so yeah, I don't know. I feel like we as in like me and everyone that, you know, I'll explain.
Yeah, it's a crew.
I say we as like me and everyone that fucking follows me. Like, and that's the truth. Because I couldn't do the shit that I do. First, I couldn't do the shit I do without God. Like, if he didn't want me to do this shit, I wouldn't be doing it. But beyond that, without all these here, let's pick them up. We'll give them attention. All these people here on this phone that are like watching this live right now. If people didn't watch my videos, if people didn't comment, people didn't, you know, whatever, I couldn't do this shit. So I always say we. But I'm at a point now where I promised at 75,000 because I'm at 70 now. I think I'm at like 70.1. But at 75, I'm going to be doing a merch drop. So I have 2 hats that I'm designing. I don't know how and this is the fun part, is like everyone thinks that I have my shit together. And that's great. But I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. Like, I don't know how to sell, like, and I'm, you know, I'm going to reach out and put feelers out and ask and, you know, talk to some people. I don't know how to sell fucking hats. I don't know how to sell shirts. I don't know any of that. I just am like, okay, well, I'll buy a bunch of hats. We'll make them. Let's see how they look. I'll send them to my creator friends, if nothing else, you know, as a way to say thank you for riding with me, you know, this whole, because this thing has been a fucking roller coaster, you know. But, you know, as far as selling them goes, fuck, I don't know who's going to buy them. You know, like, I don't even, I feel like if someone walked around with a hat that said the Hunt Critic on, people would go, who the fuck is that? Like, they just wouldn't know. And I'm cool with it. Like, I've got 2 different colored hats. I got black and camo because those are the only colors that matter. You know, I'm selling them. So that's what I ended up picking. But I've just got like these leather patches and it's my logo. That's the only merch as of right now. T-shirts. I've got a bunch of dudes that have T-shirt presses that are like, I'll print whatever you want. It's just like me sitting down and designing shirts, because I've got 10 or 11 fucking just really funny ideas that I think might sell, but I don't know. But I'm in the process of designing tons of merch, in the process of getting a website that's mine, you know, having my own domain. Someone will probably go make a website I have to buy for a ridiculous amount now that I said that. But in the process of doing that, as far as the podcast goes, by the end of this month, I should have all my stuff in. And I've been pushing that fucker off for months. I've been milking that cow for too long.
Well, that's a lot of work, let me tell you.
Yeah. And then, you know, I'm going to kind of do it like you guys, you know.
You know it.
I like to do it raw, like, you know.
Raw dogging?
Yeah, absolutely. Big, long, and uncut, you know, fuck it. And
getting weird. It's all right. I don't think there's a better way to do a podcast, just because it's like, that's how I think I should do it. You gotta be authentic. You're never gonna have a good podcast if you can't be your damn self. And that took me enough to get to that point. I was a little bit in my shell, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And there's a lot of guys, I've been on a lot of podcasts where it's like, well, you know, let's steer away from doing this. Let's not act this way. Let's, you know, kind of a set of rules.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't wait. And I get it, because they have people that sponsor them and what, you know, so on and so forth. They want to look professional. Me, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm not here to get a sponsorship. I do this shit for free, you know, like I do it because I like doing it, not because I'm making money. Like, I had somebody tag me the other day and they're like, you're a fraud because you just do these videos to make money. I was like, show me that money. I'd love to, you know, I'd love to get paid to do this.
Gary Vee said he'd get paid a lot more if he'd stop swearing on stage. And
yeah,
he's like,
it's like,
not going to happen. I got to be myself.
Yeah, like cursing is just a part of this my page. You know, that's just who I am. And I try to veer away from it as like.
You think in this particular space would be okay with cussing, but, you know, sorry, Dad, again.
Yeah. No, I have a funny story about that. So we all know Brad Luttrell. And so I was messaging him after I saw him on y'all's podcast, and I was like, tell me about Go Wild. I was trying to get a fucking job, but it didn't work out that way. But I downloaded Go Wild, you know. So I downloaded it, checked it out. And I was just on a whim. I was like, oh, I'll just repost the video I posted today. Click. No views, whatever. That doesn't really matter to me. It's a brand new app. I'm still trying to get my bearings, you know? But I forget how sensitive other people are. And I think I like to say the word fuck. Like that's just it's the word that I say. And yeah, it's versatile is why I like it. But I said fuck in a video, and like so many people got so fired up to the point where like an admin added Brad and was like, I think you should talk to Brad Luttrell because this is wrong. This is a family friendly app. And Brad was like, yeah, the guidelines say that there's nothing wrong here. So carry on. And I was just like, yeah, get fucked. Like, you know, but it's crazy. It's crazy. But that's why I'm excited to do my own thing kind of because
you can do whatever you want. It's your thing.
Yeah, I could give a shit who sponsors me. If you don't want to sponsor me, oh well. Like I'm not gonna lose it to sleep.
I'm pretty sure our sponsors have no issue with how we do things. Zero.
Exactly.
Which is why they're your sponsor.
Yeah, honestly, I'm pretty sure Bill came on the show right now as the host of the studio. I'm pretty sure he swore on this podcast more than anybody else when we got him drunk last year, which he doesn't do very often. He's a pretty I wouldn't say reserved isn't the right word, but he's a bit more introverted than you might think. So you get him drunk and he started to kind of pop that head out of the turtle shell, and he's like, oh, whatever. And he's like, I've not got that loose lipped on a show yet. And I'm like, well, welcome to the shit show.
He winked at you a few times too.
Oh yeah. Then we went up by the fire, right? Did we go by the fire?
Yeah, you got a little romantic.
Yeah, a little romantic. It was nice. It was nice. Bill comes through Wisconsin every now and again to go, in the cranberry bogs, whatever they're called.
Mm-hmm.
So
back
it's
in
always
his
nice to see him.
homeland.
He might be at Foam Fest, for the record.
That'd be cool.
Now that I'm telling him that or saying this out loud in public, Bill, you better be there. People are going to want your autograph.
Josh, I think you got to go forward. You got to make hats and shirts. I am not a financial advisor. I don't know shit about marketing. But here's what I do know. Being a high school teacher and being around adolescents, teenagers all day, dude, they wear shit I have never in my life heard of and no one else has heard of because they believe in it, right? And when you respect someone, it doesn't matter if somebody else knows or respects them. Like that kind of fad has gone away with like when you were a kid and you wore like Nike or like you had
right.
Like people want to wear what they freaking believe in. And like you have a following and people would buy what they believe in. And you're a respectable guy. Yeah, you say the word fuck a lot, but you're like what you're standing for is a good thing, right?
Yeah. We can just start
go man. Yeah, but
the whole time. Hey, why don't you touch your
if you tank, it's not my fault.
And if you need help with stuff, man, you let me know. We're learning as we go too, but we've come a little bit. We're about 2 years into it come June. So, if you need some assistance on design or website, I'm not even saying you need to pay me for it. I can just advise you on some things that you probably shouldn't do because I probably did some terrible things that didn't go well already. So I can tell you what not to do at least.
Yeah, dude, I appreciate that. Seriously. And like, that's another thing. That's what's cool. We focus on the shit show that is TikTok sometimes. But one of the coolest parts about it is like the ability to have a platform. But the biggest one is the friendships you make out of this shit. I'm friends with people all over the country that I would have never even known, never even met, never even had a conversation with if it weren't for this shit. Like, it's crazy. And then how helpful people are, genuinely how helpful they are. Not just on the service level to look good, but genuinely helpful. It's crazy. And I love it. That's one of the things I love about TikTok.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, there's a lot more positivity than you would think, right?
Oh, yeah.
Less half-naked girls dancing than you would think. Once the algorithm learns that you care more about antlers, that rack than the other rack, then it trains itself.
But you can get both racks, right?
yeah. But considering that our demographic or the hunting space is primarily white males of a certain age, and they like to see racks of both kinds, you can bet your ass that our community is there on that platform. So they're there. You got to be careful what you post. Our guidelines are very strict. We talked about with Brad about what you can and can't do on TikTok and why. And if you're gonna like try to exploit that platform and arbitrage it, you're gonna have to play by their rules, plain and simple.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that get kicked off of there.
And that's just reality. It is what it is. You don't want to reach 1 million people, then that's fine. Then go to a different platform where you don't have to get censored. Like, go wild.
That's the part of the app, though. That's what I love about it is the fucking challenge, because you have to outsmart the app at its own game. Like, because It is the only app that I've ever been on that is like actively goes out of its way to take everything down and take everyone down that wants to be, outdoors. It just wants to destroy us all. Like if our community could get wiped out, it would try. And so you have to you got to be like 3 steps in front of it, and then when it's right behind you, you got to be 1 step behind it. And it's just like the thrill of, I sound like Charles Beatty, but like the thrill of outsmarting this app. It's just fun. It's just a rush. That's half of the reason I do it. I'm like, how am I going to outsmart the algorithm today, or try to at least?
Get away with seeing this shit.
Yeah.
No, it really is a. Like I when Vector Custom Shop was here last week, I was like, y'all need to be on TikTok, and I'm like, how are they going to be on TikTok? They manufacture arrows. That's a weapon. How are they going to talk about that? There's ways, and this is where marketing for me is fun, because this is where you get to outsmart the algorithm and exploit it and have fun and do the arbitrage thing. But once you get it right, it's all fun, man. Like the thing that shocked me most about TikTok as a social media platform is that there are real humans there with real engagement, and it's more engaging than the other platforms in my experience so far. We'll post something on Instagram and we have 13,000 some odd followers there. That ain't nothing. And look at 2 comments. We'll post the same thing on TikTok. We'll get 200,000 views and hundreds of comments, real comments from real people. And that's exciting to me, because we're reaching human beings and we're putting our message out. We're realizing our mission, and our mission is to give back to conservation and making a positive impact. So the more people reach, the more we can do that. So, I'm glad we met on the platform. Look at another friendship, just like I met Greg on Instagram, and if I didn't meet Greg, I would have met Derek. Like, social media has its powers for good or for bad, really.
Yeah.
I meet you guys.
How the hell did you meet Greg? Yeah, I don't know. When did that happen?
I don't know.
You gotta meet this guy Derek. I'm going to Illinois with him. He's the best guy in the world.
Through Dave?
Yeah, through Dave.
Dave didn't want to do the podcast, so he threw it off on me.
That's exactly
I don't
what
know that stupid podcast.
Exactly what happened.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's
Josh.
fine.
We get table
Dave
scraps.
doesn't listen anyway, so it's all good.
That makes Josh feel real great. He's like, oh, here I am.
Sorry.
Where's your OKS Hunter hat? I like the duck one. Let's talk about the duck hat you got on, because who are those guys again? I forget their name right now.
This is Dabbling Duck Company. This is my buddy Spencer. Oh fuck! I could be the hat critic if we really
That could be popular.
Put your hat real close to no, not my hat. Your hat. Put that other one up real close. I want to see that design. That is a good design, right in the middle there.
Move your head toward the camera.
Dabbling Duck Company. That's a good looking hat. We're making hats, man. We're making new designs right now, and like these guys know because I'm messaging them at like 1 in the morning.
Yeah, I got some sweet
The
ones.
designs don't stop.
But that's a good one. I like
the
that one.
grind never stops. That's why I'm excited about making my hats. I was like, man, my shit's not going to look right if it's stitched into a hat. It's just not. A patch I thought about, and I was like, I was like, leather. I was like, leather's the way to go. I'm going to just be a little fancier about it.
Leather hats are expensive. They're expensive to make. They're expensive to buy. We have other patch hats.
But they look fucking cool.
It's hard to pay $30 for a hat, but that's the price.
It is.
There's cost of goods, minimum order quantities, all that stuff that factors into it. And we do not have deep enough pockets to do huge minimum order quantities where we can make the price on these things $8. That's
why I'm lucky that I'm young. No offense to my older guys or my married guys, but I'm fucking young and I'm fucking single. I can spend my whole paycheck doing this shit, funding my own shit. I don't have a family to feed. I got a dog that I got to feed, but that's easy. But I can fund my own shit.
That is an opportunity, just like any other one. Like,
take advantage
people don't
of it.
realize it till it's gone, but use that opportunity.
Time is an asset. And you got a lot of more than you think. Let me tell you, as a father of 3 kids, you have more time than you can possibly. If you ever call me and tell me something is difficult, I will punch you in the freaking nose, and you will wake the F up. You want to think difficult? Try having a newborn after having 2 other kids right around the same age, and you will sleep maybe 2 hours a night for a month at least. And you tell me how difficult everything is. My gosh, real easy. When you climb climb Mount Everest, you get acclimated to the new altitude pretty freaking quick, and you realize when you get back down to Earth that everything is a lot easier than you thought it was.
Do you get back down?
Nope. No, we live up here now, man. we live up here.
We're living in an alpine camp, buddy.
Yeah, that's
buddy.
right. We're puking, man.
I
All
only
the
got
time.
2.
Puking's every day. It's no big deal anymore. Anyway, dude, thanks for being on the show.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for having me.
You are on
Yes.
TikTok, as we've obviously discussed. You're also on Instagram. Where the hell else are you? The Hunt Critic. Find you.
Go Wild. Trying to think. I have my own Snapchat, although I need to post on there more, but it's just
1-to-1.
what's super cool about all my tags is they're all the same on all platforms. So Facebook, I got to get. Twitter, I have to get. I'm on
get a phone
YouTube. I'm on YouTube. I have like a video and like
They're
one
shorts.
subscriber.
Roll the shorts out, man.
Yeah, something maybe, I don't know, but Snapchat, Instagram's a big one. TikTok, like that's it.
Yep. There you go.
Cool.
I'm gonna be looking for
and
that.
a soon-to-be website.
Yeah,
I'm
hopefully.
gonna be looking for that fuck yeah video. I'm gonna be looking for that.
It'll be something to celebrate, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. I'm sure we'll see you around on the TikTok, ecosphere, whatever it's called. And
Yeah.
everybody that's here tonight, thank you. Thanks for listening to all of our swear words. Dad, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
All the kids in the cars. These episodes are all
you
marked
might as well
explicit, by the way.
preface
They're all marked explicit.
earphones, head, yeah, whatever.
What do they call? Yeah, what's
Earmuffs.
that movie? Earmuffs.
Earmuffs.
Say it.
Headphones,
All right.
whatever.
Well, on the live stream, this will be posted tonight. It'll be in podcast land, and then ready for everybody tomorrow morning, wherever they get their podcast from. So, adios, everybody.
See ya.